So we're going to call this show, we hope, Life Lessons with Dave and JJ. And what actually was the impetus for the show was, you're on my latest program, In Focus with JJ Davis, and we talk about your life, blah, blah, blah. And I just felt like we get along so well. You're the yin to my yang, I'm the yang to your yin. You're Batman, I'm Robin. You're Superman, I'm Jimmy Olsen. Or maybe you're Wally, and I'm Beaver. So I said, why not? Let's do it. What do you think?
Are we rolling?
No.
I watch Beaver and Wally every morning, and I've seen those shows 100 times.
And who were you, Wally or Beaver?
Well, early I was Beaver.
Right.
Then Wally turned into a real twit. And Lumpy's a twit from the very beginning. And Eddie should have been shot.
And Eddie, well, he just died.
I don't care.
Well, we're not far behind.
But Beaver, his head was always too big for his body. I loved him because he was a kid.
So at your age, you noticed that his head was always too big.
That's how I knew I was going to be on television. Because I noticed all the weaknesses and all.
You did not. You're so full of it. And that's why we're doing this show. I do think the story of you getting on television, which you told me on my show, our show, is crazy. But we both agreed that's how it works.
That's the second time that happened to me to get on television. The very first time I was in 4th grade.
Yeah, you told me that story too.
And winning the essay contest.
That's correct. And
why I want to be on TV. And the prize was a ballpoint pen. And I said, let's see, I was in 4th grade. I was 8 years old. That would have been 1952. Ballpoint pens were a big deal.
Remember, they were a big deal. And if you got one that had colors in it, or the one that you pushed down and had different colors, that was a big deal.
That was a whole new century.
That was technology.
Papermate. It was a gold Papermate gold pen.
And you felt special. Now you go to the store and there's aisles of them.
I remember somebody, my wife, I think, saying, I'm going to throw this shit in this box out. You don't want any of it, do you? That's the truth. Everything gets thrown out.
Nah. What else do you remember about?
Forgot the light.
What else do you remember about those days? I mean, they're just, everybody pines for them today.
Vacant lots. Vacant lots were heaven. You could play baseball. You could play football. You could just sit around a vacant lot.
Or the street.
Yeah, in the street.
We used to play football in the street. Sometimes the football would hit the car and we'd all just grab our heads.
And run.
And we could run pretty fast. But we usually played down the park, Dave. We played on a field that a Little League team called the Clinic used to practice on. Or we'd play under a clump of trees, and we had bases on the grass. Remember, it was a big deal.
Did you ever play, we called it move up. That wasn't the real name of it. It was when you only had 2 or 3 guys. And you'd hit, and then you'd have a pretend runner at second.
Right.
And then you'd bat again.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, remember, it used to be left field. You could only hit them to left field or right field.
Left field or right field on one side of the
only had like one guy. We used to play a game called Stick.
But it wasn't move up. It was, oh, shit, I can't think of the word.
You know, I've noticed that about you. And you know what else I noticed? When you were pulling up, you know how I knew it was you? A, you had your lights on. B, you were going about 2 miles an hour.
Well, you should have seen me going through the hospital area.
Oh, my God, let's don't get them started.
Ooh.
Talk about that construction downtown, Dave.
I don't understand. As far as you can see is a hospital, megapolis. And I don't understand, are there that many sick people in Omaha that you need that size of hospital?
Well, I don't think, we hope and pray for those people, David. We don't. Yeah, but I'm talking about the detours. How many detours?
I hope you know I'm praying for you.
Thank you, Father Dave. How about the detours, man? I mean, everywhere you go, there's a detour.
Yeah. It's like a country western song.
Sing it. Yes, he used to be in a folk band, too. He told me that on the show.
I saw a guitar in there. I'll bring my guitar and sing a little.
$5, 5 lessons. Remember you told me that?
5 lessons,
and
$5.
And that's true.
$1 a lesson.
And how'd you learn?
And the guy came to the house.
To teach you?
Yeah.
What was the first song you learned? Thank you.
On Top of Old Smoky. Top of Old Smoky, I think.
Really?
Maria Elena was the one on guitar when I was playing guitar. Ma da 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 dum, bum, 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 bum.
And you still remember.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite song to sing? No, I
so
feel like
many.
Go in the interview.
So many.
I know.
I love them all. Honest
just
to God.
so special.
I just enjoy what I do. And you can't say that about everybody.
Because most people we know, especially in today's day and age, they don't look at life through the same lens that we do. Why do you think that is? What's happened?
I just think everybody should have grown up in the late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah. Fab 50s. You grew up in the Fab 50s. What do you remember? Did you have hair?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a crew cut?
I got trimmed. I got the short on the sides when I went in the Air Force.
But
I always had some hair on the top.
You had to. Who were your sports heroes?
Ernie Banks.
You loved Ernie? Let's play two.
Let's play two. Billy Williams.
Billy Williams.
Anybody on the Cubs.
So you're a Cubs guy.
Ron Santo.
Ron Santo.
Let's put him in the Hall of Fame. Okay. He died. Let's put him in.
Ryan Sandberg.
Ryan. The Rhino game. Oh, man.
Ferguson Jenkins.
Oh, Fergie. Yeah. All those guys.
See, but I grew up.
Harry Carey, the play-by-play guy.
Well, I saw that show you did that night. You wore the thick glasses with the.
Sorry. Hey, Steve.
I grew up in Baltimore. My teams were the Orioles, late 60s, early 70s.
I liked the Orioles too. Brooks Robinson.
Game winners. Number 5, baby. They've got a statue out at Camden Yards out in the outfield. 420 game winners. I can name the whole starting 9.
In a year, you will see a statue of Mendoza diving across the goal line.
Everybody has said that for Indiana national champions. What do you think of the game?
That game?
Did it bring back memories of the Husker glory days for you?
It brought back memories of Miami screwing everybody, yeah.
Oh, come on, man. What do you mean by that?
Well, the calls.
That's football. It's human. They're human.
You go. Okay, I'll go. No,
so you think that he got speared? That was helmet to helmet when he got hit. The guy launched himself.
Yes, I think he got speared in the back when he went over the goal line.
Yeah, no, I think the guy launched himself. But, is it me or this year, college NFL, the officials seem to be...
Full of shit?
Well,
can we say full of shit on this show?
It's audio. It's only audio only. Oh, even though they got that camera right there. But they've struggled this year, I feel like, the officiating. Even in the NBA.
WNBA.
Even in college, men's and women's college basketball.
I don't understand. I can't believe that nobody has any self-respect.
Self-respect's going out the window, Dave.
Yeah, the officiating, the self-respect to be an official.
Well, but I think it extends.
Cleat. I love Cleat. Cleat Blakeman.
I was thinking of Cleat Boyer.
Oh, Cleat, yeah. Cleat Blakeman, he's a referee.
I was just thinking.
Honest man.
Self-respect goes out the window today, I think, with today's athletes in general. So I think that the whole thing, here's the funny thing to me is betting's legal now. All the states in the country, betting's legal now. And then these scandals are starting to come out with former players that perhaps make it.
Well, it's legal now.
It's alleged. And I'm like, what are you, crazy? You don't expect 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids to maybe I can make a little coin? What are you, nuts?
By cutting points?
Right.
By throwing a lug up?
Yeah, right. By throwing a brick up. What are you, surprised? What do you think a student athlete's making all that money? Well, that's your age bracket.
Banging on trash cans?
Yes.
And all they got was a slap on the wrist? They didn't get the trophy taken away from them?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but what about athletes before they even play a down or before they even hit a basket or before they even get a hit? They're getting all this money.
They're driving a car? Their parents got a house?
Yes. What do you think? You and I are old school.
I don't like it.
It's the way it is. It's the 21st
Oh, I know. I didn't like it when it happened. I didn't like it long before it happened.
But don't you believe? Remember all the stories we heard when we were sports guys? It's happening. It's under the table.
I remember talking to someone, a very famous football player. I was emceeing a dinner for him.
Oh, that's a surprise.
And I said, guys are getting paid checks now, a lot of money. You didn't get paid in checks, did you? And I looked at him and I said his name. And I said, it was just a $100 bill and a towel, right, after the game? He looked at me.
Right. I said, yeah. It's been well known, but now it's just they say it's up front. everybody knows about it now, but it's been going on.
But the guys who are making the billions of dollars are still making the billions of dollars.
That's right.
And could care less whether the players get paid or not.
Well, let me ask you this. If we were Division I or professional ball players, were you ever any good?
Not that
sport?
good, no.
Did you ever play sports?
Yeah, I played baseball.
What position?
Pitcher, first base.
Really? So
I stood out on the mound and threw out the first pitch for the Royals.
So what? You're a left-hander.
Yeah. I threw out the first pitch for the Royals for a game, and I put a little hook on it, a little hook and a little dip.
And
the catcher goes, thunk, and he just stares at me. And the manager, I can't remember what his name was then, came running out of the dugout with a piece of paper for a contract to sign me up.
Are you serious?
And we just stood there and laughed.
I've thrown out 2 first pitches in my day. One was in Virginia, and I just remember telling myself, don't even think, just throw it. And a radio guy was catching behind the plate. And I just threw it as fast as I could, and it was a strike. Then fast forward, Rosenblatt. I threw out the first pitch then. I thought about it, bounced it.
No.
Yes, I'm not Dave Weber.
A 40-foot fastball.
So, yeah, you don't think that guys should be making that money?
Bob Feller. You knew Bob Feller.
Bob Feller.
Yeah.
He's from Iowa.
Yeah. He owns that whole town, or he did.
That's right.
He pitched in the AAA as a coach, and he'd come traveling through when the team came through. He'd have a sportscaster home run contest, and he'd pitch this to the sportscaster.
Are you serious?
And I said, "Oh, I got to do this." So I'm out there, and I'm got the bat, and I'm looking at the catcher, and he's looking up at me and smiling and laughing, and I go, "Yeah, right." So he pitches one, and I hit it pretty good. Line drive over second base, and took 2 or 3 bounces and
Solid base hit.
hit the fence. Yeah, 2 or 3.
Hit the fence.
2 or 3 bounces. I swear to God. And I said, well, I guess that was pretty good. And he said, and he looks up and he goes, and I go, what do you mean? And I look up and the ball's coming right for my head, but not a fastball. And I saw it, and
Sounds like Bob Gibson.
well,
I'll never forget.
he wouldn't hit your head. He'd hit your neck.
That's right. Right. He'd take you off at the neck. I remember the home run derby. Remember before the College World Series? And I remember Rossi. Rossi Turnstrom won it one year, I think. And I remember I stood up at the plate and I was thinking, I was kind of nervous. I didn't know what to expect. And I hit a couple soft ones. I think I took second, but Ross Turnstrom won it the year I did it.
Do you remember the guy that worked the grounds crew, the big heavy-set black guy?
I can't think of his name, but I can see him right now.
He hit home runs. I saw him hit home runs off batting practice pitching. And I go, how do you do that?
Are you serious?
I could hit it with a tennis ball maybe, but
he
not.
He hit it over the left field wall.
Yeah.
At Rosenblatt.
Yep. I can't think of his name either.
I can see his face right now.
Great guy.
Because we used to talk to him, especially the last year at Rosenblatt. We did stories on
Pizza. We always pizza. He'd take 2 pieces, fold them over so the cheese was touching each other. 2 more pieces, one on the bottom, one on the top, so that cheese was sticking to everything, and eat that. 4 pieces of pizza, about that thick.
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
Another thing I remember, speaking of food, Rosenblatt. We'd all go up there to the press box.
What was her name, the lady that worked up there?
I don't know, but I just remember the hot dogs. Remember, we'd all be sitting there. We didn't really care if I actually shot behind the plate. That's a whole new story, but we didn't care about that. We just wanted to get there for the food.
Can I tell you a funny Rosenblatt's
yeah, of
food
course.
story? We're in the dugout, and there's a photographer for Channel 6. Al was his name. I'm not going to tell you what his last name was. Who cares? He didn't have a clip on the bottom of his camera. The little thing you screwed on that kept it on the tripod?
Yes.
So he said, the guy said, hey, the food's up in the press box.
Rule number 1, you never leave a camera on a tripod.
But he did for the live shot for 5. I had Cliff Gustafson in the dugout.
Right.
And he went up and got a big sandwich and walked all the way back down about 5 minutes before the 5 o'clock. And the camera fell off and blew a tube.
Right.
And we went on live, and the grass was blue, the sky was green.
It wasn't white balanced, as we say.
And I got so mad, but they were yelling at me like I had done it. I said, I didn't do anything.
Why didn't you tell him? You know that. You know better. You shot film in the old days.
But there was nobody there to
What
who am I going to tell?
The camera, and I just put it off to the side.
Well, Munson came out and brought a camera, and they exchanged.
So you lucked out.
Yeah.
Did he get reprimanded for it?
I don't know. I didn't talk to him for a month.
You?
I said, I'm not talking to you. He said, well, I won't tell you what he said. But I said, you ought to have Brunswick tattooed right on your forehead. Because that's about as bright as you are.
We all got stories, and we're not talking about bowling balls, that's for sure. We've all got the stories, man. I've got stories where you would make the live shot. So remember those days, Dave, when you'd be running to do the live shot? You'd get there like 15 seconds, you're out of breath, and all of a sudden, bang, you're on. Remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
You got any good stories?
Nobody cared.
No.
Nobody beyond you.
Nobody knew.
Well, no, because you pulled it off.
Right.
But nobody cared above your pay level. Nobody cared. You're supposed to be there, be there. I don't want to hear about it.
But what about your fame and your fortune, man? People do care when they see you on TV. Me? Forget it. Oh. Yeah, right.
Lucky. Just lucky.
Yeah, just like he got into business. Lucky.
And I had guys to work with to help me, Rossi, Merlin, McKnight, those guys, Roger Hamer, John Chapman.
Oh, Roger Hamer. I love seeing Roger.
They worked their butts off.
Right.
To make me look good.
See, and that's what I appreciate about you, because when I was at KPTM, we didn't even get a ratings point. We were lucky if we got a ratings point. And I used to have all my monitors up there watching all the guys to see what's going on, to see if I missed anything.
But that's not your fault.
No, but I'm just saying, you admit that you had help, and you're so appreciative.
And luck, absolutely.
Well, luck, I think luck plays a part in everything.
JJ, if you hadn't been at KPTM, if you'd been at one of the 3 majors, you'd have been a great sports guy. I'm just saying.
Forget it.
It's over now, and I don't have to lie to you. But you'd have been great.
Well, I don't have to lie to you, but you were great.
Well,
and you know what I always say? You made your money on the 3-shot. You did, you were good, obviously, on the tight shot, going into, but you made your money on the 3-shot in and the 3-shot out.
I did say some funny things.
Yes, you did. And you know why? Because you were real.
That's what people say down at Shirley's when they come in to eat.
Right.
Dave, I wish I could tell you how much fun I had.
You were real. You weren't afraid to show your foibles, to just be an innocent, humble, funny, let's make fun of ourselves guy. That's what I loved about you. Of course, I don't know if I really liked you at the time because I was competing against you. I used to watch, and we all stroke each other, but in the end, you want to win.
You want to sit at Paulie's and have a beer and tell stories.
Yeah. I don't drink.
I agree. I don't either anymore.
Uh-oh. I feel like we got a story coming.
No, I just stopped.
How do you stop cold turkey?
Your daughter almost breaks her neck in a diving accident.
What?
Yeah, my daughter Marcy almost broke her neck. It was twisted, and the
Can
vertebrae
you talk about it?
Yeah.
Well, what happened?
She was a junior in high school, and she was the swimming coach wanted her to dive for the team because he didn't have a diver for whatever. So she was a good diver too. So she said okay, and she was practicing in a pit, they call it, with the rubber mats.
Yeah, you just jumped into them.
She jumped and hit it wrong and twisted her neck and locked it up. And they had to operate on her, and she didn't break anything, but
But it was pretty serious.
They had to operate, yeah. I slept in the hospital for about a week on the floor, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if that's about the same time Mike, the newspaper guy, Mike, the columnist.
You talking about Steve Pivovar?
No, before Steve. Mike, his daughter was, had some problems, was assaulted.
You're talking about an anchor.
Yeah. No, a newspaper.
No.
And Nicely's daughter was assaulted down in Texas.
Yes.
But Mike's daughter had to crawl. God, it's about the same time, because he wrote a thing in his magazine, the column about Marcy, and then he had to write about his own.
So how does this make you stop you from drinking?
Well.
Or did you make a covenant?
Yes, I did. And then Marcy told me years later, Dad, you can drink, you can have a drink, you can have a beer. I'm telling you can. I permit you to have one if that helps. And I said, but I didn't promise you, Mars.
You know, people don't realize, I can still remember the day my wife told me she was pregnant with our first child, who's now 29. It's like extreme tight shut, because you realize your whole life changes.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to be worried about that son or daughter, in my case, my son, for the rest of your life. And I try to tell that to younger people. When you have children, it does change. And of course, you know, you have your good times and your bad times. Like when I'm in the store and I hear baby screaming, I will look at my wife and say, well, I'll look at the couple and say, yeah, we've been there. I mean, it changes, right, Dave? I mean, there's a piece of you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough. How tough is it to let them go? Or do you let them go?
You think you do, but you don't really. If they have problems, you have problems.
Right.
No matter how old they are.
And no matter where they are.
No, where they are, Wisconsin, living in Omaha, living with you.
Right.
Yeah, they're still your kids, and that's the commitment you make for the rest of your life.
And you tell them, as my parents did, my mom, no matter what happens, if you need me, if you need us, I'll be there.
I remember my dad saying to Terry, my wife, if this TV thing doesn't work out for Dave,
Yes.
Terry, you can come to Chicago and live with us.
But it means a lot.
Yeah.
It holds
It
weight
meant a lot
and
to
gold
him. He was serious.
on him. And what did your mom think when he said that?
She wasn't there.
What would she have said? Oh, that's another story. But friends, you see, I'd love to see you smile.
I don't know what my mom would have said. But
It
just the fact that he said it. And Terry told me, I said, I never said anything to Dad about it because I know he was really trying to be nice. Really trying to be a good grandfather. You know?
So I met my wife at a benefit softball game. I got rags on, a cut-off shirt. I weigh about 110 pounds. I'm playing shortstop, and I stunk. But, you know, I looked the part, you know. And she's there with her girlfriend, and next thing you know, I asked her out a couple of times, and she said no. And next thing you know, we're married. How'd it work for you and Terry, your wife?
I met her after folk singing one night.
Yeah,
I was invited over to the house,
You told me that on my show.
her parents' house, for Sunday dinner because they came to hear me folk sing that night.
And somehow they came up to you afterwards and invited you to dinner.
Come on to dinner tomorrow. Can we sing something? Sure. So I will go over and meet Terry, beautiful girl, and fell in love.
Did you know the old question?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know? Cupid's arrow hit you right then and
Yes.
there. That's why am I not surprised? So you knew.
Yeah, you know, people try to fake it or try to poo-poo it, but it's not true. It's
Yeah. And you know what I always say? It's easy to punch out today. What divorce rate? I'm not sure. I think it's like 50%. It's easy to punch out today. But I always tell people, because my wife, you know, marriage isn't perfect. You're going to have your ups and downs.
it's hard to stick together.
Yes, it
really
is. But I tell my wife and I tell people and I tell students, because I teach somewhat at Iowa Western life's lessons, if you truly care for someone, you will see it through. If you don't, punch out. What do you say?
We had a little problem for a little bit, and then
Don't we all, Dave?
yeah. But I said to myself, what you just said. I said, I'm not going to do this to the kids, and I'm not going to do it to my wife, because whatever vows you make, whatever religion you believe in, whether you're married in a civil ceremony,
Right.
you make a promise to be there for them, and I broke that promise. I was gone for maybe a year, and so I went back and
Can I pry? What happened? And you don't have to say if you don't want to.
it was just
Did you live by did you go move out? What?
I moved out because I wanted her to have the house and keep the kids as normal as she could, you know, so they didn't change their lifestyles. And then a year later, she got sick, and so got sick with the flu or something, and so I came back and stayed at the house for 3 or 4 days. And I said, no, I'll move back in. It's okay with you. And we've been together ever since. This is 40 years ago.
What did you realize?
Stop being selfish.
Well, I think we're all selfish. I know I'm still selfish sometimes.
Well, selfish sometimes, but not 24/7.
You?
No, but I could see where I could get into that situation.
Well, I think it's easy because when you're on TV, when you are a public figure, people know you. They feel like
If they don't like you, they don't talk to you. If they like you, they talk to you.
I don't know about that. I used to get some hate mail in Billings, Montana. I used to flip a pencil around, and that was before the age of the computer. And of course, I didn't know what I was doing. I was young. I really didn't have any guidance. I was very immature. My news director at the time came in an edit bay one day and started crying and telling me that he let me down. So I don't necessarily think that I was developed enough. I was mature enough because, as you know, when you get older, you look back and you think, man, I was a jerk. I used to flip a pencil, and I would get hate mail from the first couple of weeks in Billings, Montana. Here's some more pencils for you to flip around.
Oh, these are...
So I know. So people can be really cruel.
Well, I think you're calling them people. Those are nuts.
Well, yeah, but your and my lives, careers are totally different.
Yeah, but people that get angry with you for flipping a pencil are nuts.
Yeah. Well,
Please.
Tell that to a 27, 28-year-old kid.
I used to answer the phone for the station. I used to go up front, go take a break. I'll answer the phone.
And
people would call in, and I'd say, "Can I help you?" So and so and so and so. Yeah, well, get over it. Click.
Did you ever let it affect you? See, I did. I took it to heart.
I can't do that.
But then as you look back, like I do, and you realize, you know what? I really wasn't that good.
How would you like to be young now with Facebook and with FaceTime and with all that stuff, all the X and all that?
It's crazy.
All the criticism you would take anyway, whether you were great or not.
Right.
Because there are people who are jealous of you.
Right.
Glad I'm not young today on TV.
Well, I was just thinking, combined, we have over 150 years of being on the planet. And gosh, at least 3/4 of that in the media, on television. You here in Omaha.
100 years,
and
yeah.
me working around the country. So we've just got done our first edition of Life's Lessons. You think anybody learned anything about life?
I didn't learn anything.
I knew when you entered the room, we weren't going to learn everything.
You knew I was late because you can't get around this town.
That's right, because you go slow. But anyway, I hope folks have enjoyed our first edition of Life's Lessons with Dave and JJ.
Tune in again.
We'll be back with episode 2.